Follow Goa News Hub on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Hello everyone, this is Arbaaz. I am the co-founder and CEO of Custom Elements.
Hi guys, this is Wasim here. I am the co-founder and CEO of Custom Elements.
Before starting with Custom Elements, I used to work as an SAP consultant. That is a SAP developer in one of the companies called as Maventing in Bangalore. I was doing quite well. I was promoted to a team lead quite early in my life, and something was really hitting me that I can do something more than this. Definitely, I can do something more than this. At one time, after a lot of thinking and everything, I realized, okay, it's not going to happen. Nothing is going to happen till I receive a salary in my account every month end. And that is the time one sudden day, I thought, okay, let me do one thing. Let me not think of the idea first. Let me figure out, okay, if I can find someone to discuss about this. And one fine day, what I did was I felt that my friend Wasim would be interested in this or might be interested in this. So when I went and approached him, that is when I went and visited him in Nellore, where he was working as a business head for ECT fiber internet.
Yes, basically I was the manager in Act FiberNet company, and it was basically the third India's largest ISP provider. So what happened was when I was in Nellore, this gentleman comes to Nellore saying that Wasim, I just need some time off, so I'm coming to you and just wanted to talk to you something. So I said, yeah, you're more than welcome. Anyways, in Nellore, there was nothing much to do for me also. I mean, on a personal level. So I was like, yeah, come, we've got a house, we'll chill over there and everything. So he came in and he actually, came up with an idea. Wasim, you are doing fine in your job. I'm doing fine in my job. But don't you think we can do something really, really big? And I was like, yeah, I think we also can do something. But what was it? So he's like, I'm doing fine, you're doing fine, but then if we actually come up together and can manage to think of something, we can start something of our own, a business, a venture of our own. I said, yes, why not? We should. And that's precisely where the whole thought that we need to start up started basically. It was only for 2-3 days that Arbaaz had come, and we were just thinking about it, and that was it. That was a very, very brief conversation that we had, in fact, at that moment. And then he again goes back to his job, to his life, and I'm happily doing my work, my job happily. And it was just a matter of a week that the next weekend I get a call from Arbaaz. It's like saying, bro, I told you we're starting up something. I said, yeah, but what's the idea? He's like, that we will come up. I said, okay, fair enough. The next bomb was, okay, I just resigned. I'm like, okay, that's a good thing. Okay, and that was a shocker for me. Like I always tell people who always ask us this, that was a shocker. But then it also happened that gave me also a solid amount of confidence and enthu that he's also very, very serious about where we should start, and that's how the whole startup journey began.
So Custom Elements was not like just came in. We discussed a lot of ideas. We kind of discussed various ideas, and at a certain time there was one of my friend who was working along with me in the SAP world about getting the same salary what I was getting. But then he saved, and like he bought a super bike. Okay, that was like 13-14 lakhs. At that certain moment, it all made me wonder, like, okay, how come he has almost the same salary as mine and everything. Then he bought a helmet worth 40,000-50,000. Then he ordered a jacket worth especially from Germany for around 80,000. You're like, okay, there is something in this market. I'm like, what is it? And then me and Wasim started, kind of researching about it. What exactly is motorcycling market? What we can do in this particular market? And then I think that is when we realized that there is this is a market where we want to be. Okay, and yes, we started with one
Yes.
certain idea. The first idea was more to do with making a platform for these people, where people there will be like working like an aggregator for different garages, different stores, and we started with that idea, but slowly we realized that the thing is starting with something which can Wasim, how would you describe it?
So like Arbaaz rightly said, we started with the idea. First of all, we realized that there is a requirement, there is a market which a lot of people do not understand. So biking is let's say a segment, a niche, a cult. Whoever knows about it knows about it. Whoever does not know is not aware that there's something like this also happening. There's let's say somebody buying a helmet worth 60,000. How many of us possibly know it? But when you get to know the market, you get interested in it. So when we drill down, we realize that there are a couple of issues in the market, starting with the market is unorganized. So a lot of bikers do not really know where do they get these services. So let's say I want to completely design my bike, or I want a particular brand, where do I get it? And that's where, like he said, that we thought of coming up with a platform which is going to bring in all the vendors on one page, and where the customers can actually look through them, they can browse through the ideas and come to a conclusion that yes, I need this. But then it just happened that the first 2.5 months, 3 months, once we approved this idea, we realized, boss, this is a great idea. This is the Facebook of biking. It's not going to make us money. It's not going to make us money.
It was not moving forward. It was not moving forward for a really long time.
So 2.5 months down, 2 lakhs down, whatever we had saved, bang, stop the idea and get into something else. So that's what happened. The next thing was, when we were actually in this 2.5 months, we again drilled down the market, drilled down to an extent where we started realizing where was the gap. And we realized that, okay, India is a country, but then in Europe and America, a lot of helmet customization is actually on the high, and we just happened to see around there were few artists who were doing it on hobby basis, but nobody really started like a venture, a thought that this could be a company. And that's precisely where we started that side, wherein we started with helmet designing. So after 2.5 months, 3 months, we completely drilled down and we got to our next idea. This is the second venture in the same name, called Custom Elements. And that's where we started designing helmets. So when we started designing helmets, I think there was a year that we've done that, or a little more than a year we've done that.
In fact, we started as there was a big learning over there. When we started with designing helmets, we started, with some 2,000 rupees as a custom designing charges and everything. And somehow we were not able to get customers. I'm like, what's happening? So then we also realized it's not feasible also for us. We slowly, increase the price. Then slowly it happens in such a way that from 2,000 we reached 8,000, 12,000. Finally, we reached to a point where helmet, just like designing charges, would start from around 25,000.
That's right.
And well, I would say that when we increase the pricing so high, that is the time when customers started coming to us.
So that's like the biggest learning for an engineer and for an MBA graduate. Though we learn enough of pricing points or the P's of marketing and M's of marketing, deriving at a right price point, that is acceptable in the market is very, very important. And that took us literally 8-9 months to reach over there, because when you give a hand-painted helmet to a person at 2,500, you say, my God, very, very expensive. And the same design, if you make it a lot more premium, you're hitting the right target market wherein he needs exclusivity. He's got the money, he needs exclusivity now, and he's okay paying for that kind of an art. So we tell a person that you've got a bike worth 64 lakhs, and he comes to us and like, I want to design a helmet. And we say, yes, why not? We can design a helmet. And that was actually a turning point where I remember that we had thought, so I'll tell you the story. There was this guy who had bought one bike for 64 lakh rupees. It was only India's bike, MV Agusta
F4RC.
F4RC. That was only one allowed for India, and he had purchased it. So he came to us and he said that, I want to design a helmet, but remember something, it should be only for me. I want something really exclusive. We were like, wow, first big, really, really big customer. And that's where we started designing for him. And then the first thing after designing we discussed is what should we quote him. And I remember talking about it, and then we came to a consensus that 12,000 is what we should quote. And that was a big thing for us. 12,000 rupees is a big thing. But when I was talking to him, I realized that people buy this art or anything which is exclusive because they want to be different, and they are certainly ready to make the payment for it or pay for it. And we quoted him at the end around 25,000 rupees. 27,000 rupees. And he was absolutely happy to pay for it. And that was the time we saw that, okay, this is the right pricing for it. You cannot come below this. So that's where we started actually growing, and we technically became one of India's most premium designing house for motorcycling. So this continued for some time in the year 2019.
Yeah, so I mean, again, this was again a great learning that we designed few helmets, then we designed few bikes. We designed the Venom Buza, if you have seen. We designed the Warrior Buza. So we designed some the bikes and helmets. It was giving us quite a fame, but what it was not giving was feasibility. And it was not giving us the chance to grow at a very fast pace, because it was extremely dependent on artists. Okay, like one artist could do max to max 1 or 2 bikes or 3 bikes max in a month. That would not be scalable, and that hit us hard. That hit us hard because at the end of 2018, we started this company in February 2017, and towards the end of 2018. We were completely broke. Like we finished everything in our account, and we're like, now what? We don't have
negative.
Yes.
So
that hit us hard at that moment. But yes, like every entrepreneur should have it in them. We did not give up. We realized that another big opportunity at that moment. So from the circles we traveled to squares, and now from squares we travel to triangles. So at that moment we realized that, okay, one opportunity which is there in the market is e-commerce of this motorcycle accessories and riding gear. There is not a single player in the market who is doing it right. Okay, there are these biggies like Flipkart, Amazon, but they're not focusing on niche markets. And that is a moment, that really clicked. And we started with e-commerce of motorcycle accessories and riding gear called www.customelements.in.
Right. I think the premise of this particular idea was that we were now 2 years old in this particular industry, and we started realizing that there are a lot of questions, a lot of queries that a lot of customers are asking us about products, about this product, premium products. Let's say you will definitely not purchase a helmet worth 20,000 or 30,000 without confirming if it is right for you. You will not go for, let's say, a Bluetooth system for your helmet worth 18,000, 25,000 without consulting. And a lot of people, just because we were in the biking circle, started asking us questions. And I think, we started doing research and we started answering them. Okay, this was the first learning that we got to know that, a lot of information is missing in this market. A lot of people are craving for this kind of an information. The next thing is, a lot of these questions were coming to us from tier 2 or tier 3 cities or smaller places where all these bikers are really, really beginning to brew up. There are super bikes in villages in tier 3, tier 2 cities, and they did not have this many stores over there where they can actually go and buy these stuff, original stuff. So they wanted somebody, and I think that was a bang on move. We realized that situation and we realized that problem, and we hit it. And this time we hit it really hard with all the focus and a lot of speed at that moment in 2019, I believe. And yes, so that actually gave the rise to Custom Elements website.
Correct. And well, today we are one of the most visited motorcycle accessories website in India, with one of the largest collections, and the top brands like Dyneasy, AGV, Alpine Stars, Puig, all top brands. You name it, and it's there on customelements.in.
The latest being the Royal Enfield complete accessories and riding gear, lineup is on the website now.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we never had to tell people. It was very, very obvious that you can't call up a Flipkart and ask, sir, मेरे पास Ninja है, मैं ये helmet खरीद सकता है क्या? Nobody is going to answer that.
Yeah, so lot of people come with this, like, if I buy this bike, what accessories should I buy? So Flipkart will sell you, but it will not give you a domain-specific customer service. That is what it is. And of course, these products were not available also on Flipkart and Amazon, which helped us. The reason is Flipkart, Amazon focuses on more to do with mass market, not to do with items which are more niche and more specific to a market. So that really helped us to our advantage.
Another thing is that biking, or I believe any sort of niche, is very well connected. Motorcycling is for sure that way, where bikers are very, very well connected through WhatsApp, through groups and all. You help one of that guys, and a lot of them are going to come back to you. That's the beauty of this particular industry that we've realized, wherein if somebody is okay purchasing, let's say, a jacket worth 15,000, and you tell him, boss, you don't need that 15,000 rupees jacket, you need a 10,000 rupees jacket, that's going to be enough for you. He's going to be feeling happy about it, and he's going to share it with another 15 people, and then they're going to come back to you. And that's precisely how we've kind of we've taken the path in this particular industry, and yes, it has worked very well for us. I think whatever happened in our last two ventures were we came I think from to a certain extent, let's say, startups or mid-growing companies, where we had actually been used to working really hard or seeing the speed with which the businesses grow. And we had that thing. And in our last two businesses, we really did not see that churn happening. That sort of growth. It was very, very slow and humble and all. But when we started with, let's say, Custom Elements as a website, we started seeing that growth, and we started getting those calls, and we started getting those queries, and that's where we knew we are hitting it right and hard this time. And that's precisely where we started looking at it. We started bringing in a lot more brands within in a span of 6 months, 8 months, where the numbers in terms of sales as well as in terms of people calling us to get to know more, started happening. And that's, I believe, is one definite turning point.
Correct.
We've been seeing this, every month, every day that we've been, in this business. I remember as a child, or as let's say, children growing up, how many of these super bikes or really, really expensive bikes did we see in the market? Vis-a-vis, how many are we seeing now? Simple question: in your neighborhood, there's at least one super bike, or let's say a super bike or a bike which is more than 300 or 400 cc, isn't it? That was not there, let's say, 10, 15 years back. And that precisely tells us that, the kind of growth India has in terms of savings, in terms of well-paying jobs, in terms of flourishing business is great. So when there is buying patterns changing, when there is
spending
power coming in, I think Europe, America, and all these developed countries have shown that biking is basically a cult, or let's say an activity which will start growing, fundamentally in a very, very big way. And
So-
India is on the line.
So what's happening is it's not just the spending power. Of course, you know that the spending power of an average individual has increased in India. People are tending to spend more. But more than that, you will see that a lot of people are catching hold of some passion. Right, so people want, some people will go for sports, some people will go for, swimming or tracking, or people are going with a different kind of sports altogether. In this, you will see that motorcycling is also one of those sports what people are pursuing. I wouldn't say sports, but rather passion what people are pursuing. At least, owning a Royal Enfield is becoming like a cult, people forming their groups, slowly that's increasing, and as per, you'll see the market data that this is going to increase at least by 6 to 7 CAGR.
That's right.
So that's what's going to happen. And we see this market growing quite to a large extent, and we being there as a top player.
I think it's a first of all, it's a mindset that sometimes it's a troubling mindset. But yes, when you call yourself a startup and not an orthodox business, that comes in you. So when there is more business, you increase people. That's a thought, but it's a thought of an orthodox business. You hire to bring in more business is a thought of a startup. And I think being in with the previous experience, previous jobs, we've realized that you need people with the right skills and right set of mind to and go getter attitude to actually go grab the business which is already available in the market. You think that somebody is going to come and give you the business and then you're going to hire. That's not going to happen.
Exactly. So I mean, you can't be like an orthodox business, as Wasim said, that you hire after you make profits, and that doesn't work, because that is a you will grow, but slowly. But then if you have seen opportunity, it's lying there before someone else grabs it, take that risk, hire, grab that opportunity and pay these guys. So that's how it works in a startup world. So Goa was like a accident, I would rather say, because we started this company in Bangalore, because we were in Bangalore. I was working in Bangalore, he was working there, after Nellore. So the idea was Bangalore. We in fact the company was in Bangalore for 3 years. After which what we did was the COVID hit. Yes, the COVID hit in 2020.
Right.
We came down just because it was lockdown. We came to our homes, and we realized the business is increasing in COVID. Okay, we thought the business would be not working well because because there's a lockdown and there's no couriers working very well, but then started increasing.
First thing why I personally believe that markets picked up is people were sitting at home getting bored, and you cannot stop. You cannot jail bikers. Or anybody for the matter of fact. And the whole idea that one day this pandemic is going to get over and we're going to go ride really, really long.
People started buying.
So
that's what actually happened, So people, for that 1 month, the first lockdown, that 15 days and 1 month, which was extended to, people were really bugged. And then it was extended to the second month also. We're like, okay, now we will buy stuff and keep. And the moment lockdown gets over, we're going to hit the roads. And yes, that is what actually happened. And because physical stores were closed, they could not go there and buy, right? At that moment, we realized, okay, now we can't wait to go to Bangalore once Bangalore opens up and then start restart everything. So rather we said, okay, one employee who was working with us, we told her to work from Bangalore, and we came to FIRE. Okay, let's sit here and start working like a co-working space. Because that was quite surprised. When I googled, I figured out, okay, there is a co-working space here, okay, called FIRE. I came, I saw the place. We really liked the place.
Yeah.
And then slowly it just happened that we needed a couple of resources, because as we said, we could not let the opportunity miss. We hired a couple of resources, and slowly we hired around 8-10 resources here in FIRE.
Goa became a bigger office. But we were quite astonished to see fire, because I mean, coming from Bangalore, and it's been 10 years that we were always in Bangalore, and we had seen co-working spaces over there, and when we actually hit fire, I was like, wow, this is solid standard office where you would like to work, talent is going to like to work, and you can call people for meetings and everything, and this is awesome. And that's why fire happened.
Yeah, and also since our business is online, where you don't really need to be at the place where business is happening, we could work from anywhere, right? So only once in a while, we go visit our suppliers, talk to them and all that stuff. But otherwise, everything operates from here. Though the majority of business, the customers are not from Goa, but majority comes from all over India, across the states. We are still able to operate here from Goa.
One thing is very, very important. Like I said, biking is a closely knitted niche group. Thankfully, fortunately, we were in good books of, let's say, biking world. Bikers, they had bought earlier. So biking is nothing like he's going to buy once from you and he's going to that's the life cycle. That doesn't happen. Biking, we have got a solid return rate. So a lot of customers knew us very well. We had thankfully good reviews on Google and on social media. So people had that confidence, and the moment people bought anything or took the chance, we would upfront call a customer and say that you really know what's happening. We have the product, but we cannot ship it to you. But the moment the lockdown is over, we're going to directly ship this particular thing, the first thing. And they're like, okay, anyways, I'm also not moving anywhere. So ship me the moment you can ship it. And it was just fine. And the market accepted us that way.
Yeah, I think maybe just 10% of the customers or something might have cancelled the order, but most of the guys agreed, and we were immediately able to ship it post that.
Correct.
My message to all the people who are looking to start up is, take that leap of faith. Do not hesitate to take that first step, because till you try, till you experiment, you're not going to work. And what if it fails? You can just go with some other idea. It's not you who are failing; it's the idea what's failed. So you can take the next leap of faith.
Please understand that you choosing a path. Okay, there's nothing better or nothing worse. So let's say a job is bad or a business is great. It's nothing like that. It's a path that you've chosen for yourself. But if you've chosen it, stay along for it for a bit. Okay, so if you think that business is where you want to go, a startup is what you want to hit, then make up your mind completely for it. Take a deep breath and go for it, like Arbaaz said, and hold your ground. Hold your ground for some time. You will face a lot of issues, but isn't that what we've signed up for? Isn't that what we really thought, that we will fail for some time, but then we need to continuously grow? And that is precisely what businessmen do, what startup owners do. We take that much risk.
Do not hesitate. Take that leap of faith and go ahead. And yes, start up.